Okay, so here we are. Okay, on to the charts, and what have we got? What have we got here? I've got my dollar profile. So I've got Aussie on the 4 hour, Kiwi on the 4 hour, Euro on the 4 hour, dollar CAD on the 4 hour, cable on the 4 hour, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, dollar index as always. Okay, never changes. Always start with looking at the FX, and we'll start with dollar and the dollar index. Dollar index in the weekly chart. I said a couple of weeks ago we were squeezing between the moving averages. We blew out of that and we pushed it all the way down to the yearly lows, 2025's yearly lows, and really bounced off there quite nicely, didn't we? There's clearly around about 96. There is clearly support there. Okay, to see the way that that has bounced off there. And if you look at the daily chart, you just go down and just see, we just kind of bounce straight back off it. Right, we're a little bit, bit quiet today, but part of that will be for various reasons. All right, okay. Wait and see if there's going to be a continued government shutdown. Okay, what impact that will have, and then we'll see what the job openings are later on today. Okay, coming out of the US. Certainly, if we go down to the 4 hour chart, the 4 hour chart that is, there you go. 4 hour chart was in a nice downtrend, hit the lows of last year. Okay, and in the same way as an intraday trader, an intraday trader, I'm always interested in like the previous days and the previous weeks highs and lows. As a swing trader, I'm always interested in the previous months, previous years highs and lows, because there'll be orders there, markets will be, there will be people watching that, and that's why perhaps we didn't get the sort of sweetest bounce here, okay, in terms of the price action. But once we started to basically put in a bit of a higher low here, and then sort of followed it through, that was just showing that we were getting a good bounce off the session, and there's your low. There's your VB. Okay, and we've cracked through and pushed up. We started the week, okay. We went a bit sideways and then we kind of popped our way up. That is still at the moment, on the 4 hour chart, okay, that is, to me, that is a short term strengthening trend. I would be looking to see can it drift its way up to kind of 98, to where the 200 period moving averages. That's what I'd be looking at there, okay, in terms of the sort of short term swing trend for this week. So if that's playing out there, how is it playing out elsewhere? So looking at euro dollar on the 4 hour chart there, we can see that basically, that has just been reflective of that, that dollar strength. There's also an element of that euro weakness. Euro hit, previous highs of 120, big round number, and it's just worked its way down off there, hasn't it? Just worked its way down, just like tick tock, and it continues to do that. All right, that is, a bit of short term dollar strength and a bit of short term euro weakness. If you look at the yen as well, dollar yen on that 4 hour chart, okay, from last week, really, you're looking at this as a kind of not the most classically perfect inverse head and shoulder, but that's the way I'd be looking at it there. There's the low, all right, there's the VB, all right, okay, from it. That's what we've crossed our way through. So we're kind of into that territory. And once again, I'd probably be looking as getting up to sort of that kind of 156.50 area. That's what I'll be sort of looking at, sort of drifting its way higher. Will that Jolts numbers take us there? We look at dollar against Swiss franc. Okay, it had done the same. All right, in terms of push to those lows there, but then we bounced off it. Okay, the thing about dollar Swiss franc, the way I look at it is, there's the lows, there's the VBs, and then really this I look at as that's a double bottom here, and as always, the second leg, okay, is a really nice bullish engulfing, bullish key reversal candle that it basically is pushing us up and stuff. And so, and then we got a bit of a farm across, and away we went. So, we could see what was going on there. It's a question of, does it have the strength to continue with this? That's what we're particularly interested in, right? That's what we're particularly keen to see. Dollar Canadian. Dollar Canadian is interesting, is that we were in that really long downtrend there. Okay, early of last week we kind of put in this bear flag. All right, bounced off the 20 and went, and then we basically had here we put in a kind of a morning star formation. And then we put in a bullish key reversal, which failed. But as I always say, if a key reversal fails, all right, and it happens, nothing's perfect. Make sure you watch the next few candles because it might well just be that was a bit early, and then what actually happens is we print another, bullish engulfing bullish key reversal, and that does become that low, and then we were off. All right, then we were off, etc. And I had a so we sort of spoke about last night. I had a buy signal here, but it was right in front of the PMI data and stuff, which was which was the kind of the no go. Normally Mondays you don't get any high impact US news on there and stuff, but it's popped its way. I thought we might kind of drift our way a little bit higher. Okay, here this morning we started it nicely, but it doesn't seem to want to do that yet so far. Um, we're going to look at Aussie. We're going to look at the Aussie right after this anyway. But yeah, Kiwi dollar. That had just been on a great trend, hadn't it? What a great trend. All right. You had basically Kiwi strengthening, the dollar weakening. That's stage two stamp in a nutshell. All right. Just working its way these trends don't happen as often as we'd like. And as I say, when they do happen, your job is you certainly don't want to fight it. You want to look at, is there a way that I can ride this? Okay, is there any way that I can push this? And certainly what we saw is we did get a push down there, but it was interesting. We didn't get the follow through. We bounced off, as I thought. We bounced off the 50 period moving average there. Okay. Now you might say, well, Paul, the 20's turned. We've got a bit of PO20 going on, and I'd agree with you. I think we've got the 20 coming down, the 50 coming up, prices around the edges of it. This to me looks like it's coiling up before it makes its next move. We've got Jolts job opening this afternoon. Then this evening we've got Kiwi job numbers, and then of course tomorrow we've got ADP in the US. So personally, I think this kind of looks like it's coiling up, and I'll be intrigued to see which way it takes us because actually sometimes it can be quite clear, but at the moment I think we're just coiling up, and so when that's happening, I normally just let it do its thing. If it's not abundantly clear which way it's going, then I'll just let it do its thing, all right, and watch it play out.